Thank you so much, sir, for taking out the time and speaking to me on NDTV. Let me start by first asking you, what really brings you to India right now?
Well, I think India obviously is an incredible opportunity for people from all around the world today and in all sectors. And higher education is certainly one. We attract wonderful Indian students to the USC campus in Los Angeles. But what I would like to do is to try to augment that by creating opportunities for our students on the ground here, and also creating opportunities for Indian students who ordinarily would not be able to afford an education like one at USC to get that chance.
How do you see the India-US relationship during Donald Trump's second term?
So obviously the Trump administration has come out with some very aggressive policies on all dimensions, both domestically in the US and internationally. Where India is concerned, I think the underlying and the overwhelming fact is that the US wants and needs India going forward. So maybe the big issue at the moment is the so-called reciprocal tariffs, which would be very difficult to implement. My sense is that Mr. Trump, President Trump, who is a deal maker, would like to do a deal with India because he doesn't view India as a problem. He views India as part of the solution for the United States and for the world.
You said India is part of the solution. What, according to you, will be the focus areas or the priorities going forward?
Well, I think, in the security realm, the existence of the Quad with India, Australia, Japan, and the US is going to become an increasingly important organization. If we go back to the economics for a second, I think what Donald Trump would like is for India to buy more American products. And if I was thinking about areas where that might be win-win for the two countries, probably oil and gas is one. India is a large importer. The US would like to sell more military equipment to India, and that is consistent with the growing strategic relationship between the two countries. And I know India has enormous energy needs and is looking very hard at nuclear power. Maybe an American company like Westinghouse could provide some nuclear solutions for India as well, nuclear power solutions for India.
What about technological tie-ups between US and India? Do you think that's going to really increase going forward?
Well, the technology side is obviously really important, but also complicated. I mean, I've met on my current trip to India so many businesses that take advantage of the high quality of skilled labor in India that is lower priced than around the world in software services, etc. That business model still works, but we're now living in an AI age. And I think the question for India is whether, an announcement like the DeepSeek announcement from China a couple of weeks ago is really lowering the entry barrier for successful AI companies. So maybe that's an opportunity for India. But I think in any event, the quality of Indian engineers, Indian computer scientists, Indian technologists, the whole world knows about that, and it continues to be a leverageable opportunity for everyone, including the United States and the biggest American companies.
Lastly, I have to ask you this about the visa curves. There's been a lot of focus on that. How do you see that impacting the India-US relationship?
Yeah, we are living in the US and around the world in a time when there's a lot of public sentiment which is concerned about levels of migration, immigration. And certainly we've seen that in higher education around the world, in Australia, in Canada, in the UK. We see it in the US with respect to the debate over the size of the skilled migration program, H-1B. Visas. What I would say about that, just speaking personally, is that I think high-skilled migration is not only a real opportunity for Indians to go abroad, but it's a real opportunity for us in the United States to embrace really superbly skilled workers. So I certainly hope that both the H-1B visa program and America's outreach to try to attract Indian students and students from the rest of the world, I hope that continues. Now, the stakes are very high for India. I didn't realize until recently that in the skilled migration program, H-1B visas, in the last few years, Indians have been predominant there. There's a reason for that. The talent is so good. But I can see it also creates risks in a world in which inside the Trump administration, there are certainly voices that would like to lower the level of skilled migration into the US, which I think would be a big mistake.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking out the time and speaking to me on NDTV.